what's up everyone? It's Kyan here for FitnessAngelo, and tonight I want to do a video talking about macros versus calories. Which one should you count, right? Let's go. Alright, so let's begin talking about macros. For those who are not familiar with macros, macros are an acronym for macronutrients. And what do the macronutrients consist of? The macronutrients consist of the protein, carbs, and fat, and the content of a food. For example, let's talk about a bread. Most bread slices would consist of about probably 1.5 grams of fat, 25 grams of carbs, and probably about 2 grams of protein. Those macronutrients make up that certain slice of bread. And on the other hand, calories is the total amount of energy in a certain type of food. Basically, to break it down, it's like this. There's calories, and with calorie, that's breakdowns of macronutrients. And with macronutrients, it's another breakdown which consists of fats, carbs, and protein. Okay, now let's talk about what people should count. Whether you're aiming to lose weight or whether you're aiming to build muscle, it's really important to count calories or macronutrients. So let's start by talking about the pros and cons of counting calories or counting macronutrients. Let's go. Macronutrients. For those who are looking to compete in a bodybuilding show or looking to get into such a different conditioning level, it is important for one to count macronutrients. Why? One pro about counting macronutrients is that you're able to be extremely accurate about your body and about what you eat. For example, going back to the bread, it contains, let's say, 1.5 grams of fat, 20 grams of carbs, and 3 grams of protein. You know that that is the exact numbers that you have in that slice of bread. As you count your macronutrients throughout the day, whatever you end up with, you will be 100% sure that, okay, this is how much fats I'm taking for the day, this is how much carbohydrates I have for the day, and this is how much protein I have for the day. So that's what the pros about counting macronutrients is, that you're able to be extremely accurate about what you eat and what you put inside your body. Another pro about counting macronutrients is that for those who are competitive bodybuilders, you're able to see and study how your body reacts to certain macronutrients. For example, I know that some athletes perform better with higher amounts of fat compared to higher amounts of carbs. However, there are some athletes out there who perform a lot better with higher amounts of carbohydrates compared to higher amounts of fats. With counting macronutrients, you're able to assess this. You're able to, let's say one day you want to try a higher fat, and then next day at the gym you don't feel very well, you feel lethargic, you feel tired. So, and then after that, the next day you try out, well, maybe how about I increase my carbohydrates and lower my fat intake. And let's say the next day you hit a PR, or you had a better workout, you feel better, you had a lot more energy. For counting macronutrients, you're able to see and be able to study and discover that, hey, my body works better if I have carbohydrates, a lot of carbohydrates. One con about counting macronutrients is the tedious work that you have to do. I know that some athletes and some people out there have been counting their macronutrients for so long that it becomes a rhythm. However, for someone that's new, counting your macronutrients might be a little tedious and a little hard to do for a consistent amount of time. And so that's the pros and cons of counting macronutrients. Now let's talk about calories, right? Counting calories is the big selling factor for most diets out there. All those diets you see on TV giving you food and all this stuff, most of the time those types of diets, they just give you a certain amount of food with a certain amount of calories. For example, if you want to lose weight, all they do is give you food that are low in calories, and in turn you will be in a caloric deficit for that day and you will lose weight. Counting calories is great for the general population because it's a lot less tedious. Counting calories is a lot easier on your mind, and it's also a lot less work for you to do. And let's talk about a person who weighs 100 pounds. And in order to maintain that person's weight, he or she must take 1,500 calories per day. So let's say this is a girl who wants to lose weight for the summer to look good, I guess. Let's say that's the example, right? She wants to lose weight. So in order for this to happen, all she has to do is to be in a caloric deficit for a certain amount of time. So let's say she lowers her calories down. So all she has to do is eat the amount of food that she wants throughout the day, and she has to hit about 1,200 calories for that day. She wouldn't have to worry about her fat, carbohydrates, and protein intake. All she has to do is, okay, I gotta hit 1,200 calories before today, and that'll be it. So with counting calories, some days you might be able to have a higher fat, a lower carb, lower protein, or other days you might have lower fat, high carbohydrates, low protein, and vice versa. So every day it's not a day where you hit your macronutrients exactly. All people care about when you're counting calories is that you're able to hit that caloric number for the day. So let's talk about a con about counting calories. One con about counting calories is that you will not be able to be so precise to what you're eating. If I'm not mistaken, the FDA has allowed foods in order to get a 5 over or 5 under certain calories of food. So a food that's listed as 190 calories, it might be able to be 195 or 185 calories. Overall, in my opinion, if you're not a competitive bodybuilder, I think it's okay for you to just count calories. If you're looking to lose fat just for the summer, just to look good, just for the beach body or whatever, and it's okay for you to count calories. However, if you're looking to compete in the bodybuilding show, I think it's important for you to count your macronutrients. If you enjoy this type of information, please feel free to visit my channel, FitnessAngelo. As always, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless.